saying that she needs me. I assume that she needs my help. The video is called I Need Jesus.
I need God. I'm so lost and dragging my feet every day and
I can help you. I know why people are lost today.
trying to fight this fight that I know deep down I can't do without God. And I'm in this weird in between with God of a cross between New Age and I guess what people might call Christianity. I don't really want to put labels on it, but
as we can read in Matthew 12,
Sverige is now doing video call consultations for $200 an hour. You can talk to God for $200 an hour. Gotta pay rent as well, homie. Man-made, yeah.
I just tried a big black dildo, 10 inches up my fucking ass to punish myself for a dono I did.
12:36. Thou shalt not worship anything besides nature.
I thought God was this powerful force in the universe, and what people in religion called God or Allah or universe or source or creator or whatever anyone called it, I thought it was all the same thing, and it didn't matter what anyone called it. If anything, I thought people who called it, who weren't seeing it as like source of the universe, were people who were really getting it. But in reality, I see now it's actually me who wasn't really getting it. It actually is God, Jesus God, not just God as in this force. I thought people were wrong for putting it onto this like identity of Jesus and God in the form of Jesus. I don't know those proper terms to use for this.
What she's saying is that she feels like Christians are right, that there is an actual human, or there used to be a human, who is God. And if people talk about Allah, other gods, or the source and whatnot, then it's not actually correct because it's actually specifically Jesus. I wonder if she will actually explain what she means by this.
And sorry, the washing machine is really loud. I just need God, and I'm trying to connect with Him the best I can. But
I have an email address, also a Telegram channel. There's a lot of ways to contact me. You can also just comment on this video.
I'm just so lost. And so earlier this year I had...
The reason you're lost, my child, is because you do not eat what humans are naturally supposed to eat. Matthew 16.
So, looks like he's actually serious about this. He thinks he's Jesus.
27. Thou shalt only eat natural food. Bread used to mean meat back in the day. Most people don't know this, which is why in the book, when they talk about bread, they are talking about raw meat actually, and wine and blood. They were all consuming raw meat and blood. They started calling grain sludge bread.
Bread was never used as a term to describe meat.
Pretty recently, really.
And God actually is that identity that people portray God to have. Even though I was sitting for it, just started to feel right. There was no one influencing this on me. I wasn't seeking out this information. I was just existing and it was just coming to me. It just started to feel wrong. My present beliefs of putting everything onto the universe didn't seem right anymore. Putting everything at the source, it seemed like there really was a God, and I was getting all conflicted. And thinking to myself, God, if you, God, Jesus God, are real and you're who I'm supposed to be praying to, so I'm really struggling. Like, can you show me or tell me? Or I don't remember, because I wasn't trying to memorize this moment because it ended up being really important, but I had that, some sort of asking of God too.
Yes. We all know how Jesus talks to people. You want Jesus to show you a sign, then you're walking down the street and you see the letter J, this man-made symbol with no natural meaning. And then you know that Jesus is reaching out to you. I really love these stories of how people find Jesus. They are so inspiring.
Show me what is right, because I don't know.
Of course, you know what is right for yourself. There is no general right and wrong in the so-called universe, whatever you want to call it, on this earth. But for you yourself, of course, there is a right and wrong, as in everything that causes pain for you is bad for you, and everything that brings you joy and pleasure is good for you. That's the very best way. It's the easiest way, but it's actually the most correct way to define what's right and wrong, good or bad. Again, for you specifically.
No. That is not true at all. There are things that are good for you that are painful.
Universally, there cannot be, because what's good for you can be horrible for somebody else, but it's just animal nature. That's why we survive by consuming the life of others. That's just the reality that we are in. And of course, it doesn't feel good for the others to be consumed, but it's just purely nature. It's how this life works. Point being, you absolutely know, everybody knows what's right and wrong. It's just that you get told that when you feel bad, it's good for you. As in, eating spinach is good for you, working out is good for you, when you know that it's bad for you because it feels bad. Or you believe that some stuff which I don't even...
Yeah, exercise is bad for you because it feels bad. Genius.
want to talk about on YouTube, which brings you pleasure, is bad for you, even though you know because it brings you pleasure. That's actually
So I guess ice cream is good for you, cigarettes are good for you, crystal meth is good for you, all those things feel good, so...
good for you. That's it. It's just that simple. There's nothing complicated about it. And you know it, but you're lost because you've been brainwashed your whole life. That's why I'm here, to show everybody the truth. That's really the purpose of my existence.
And the next day, my nonna, I went to my nonna's house and she told me, she said, I have to tell you something. God gave me a message to tell you, or something like that. And she said to me, there is no other God. Don't give in. She had known also that I was in spirituality.
Yes, this is actually very interesting because Christianity, for example, will say that you're not supposed to worship any other gods, anything else essentially. But then, naturally, you're only supposed to worship nature, especially the sun. That's it. And everybody who follows man-made beliefs, actual man-made opinions, those are the people who are going against nature, God, whatever you want to call it. If you go against the sun, then you're going against the equivalent of God, what you believe God is. If you don't eat raw meat, you're going against nature, creation, God.
And I would talk about astral projection, and so I talk about the universe and a year and a half years with her. And she just, this one day, the next day after I asked her, God, she told me, I have a message for you, and it's that God says that there's only one God, and it's only Him. Don't get into anyone other, like people pretending to be Him or any other powers. There is only one true power, and it's Him. And I don't know the exact words she said, but I was a little startled when she told me.
That's actually a very good point, because if somebody tells you to only worship them, then you know that you're in a so-called cult. Because, again, naturally, you should only worship nature, especially the sun. If you get caught into man-made lies, then you're actually the one who's going against.
I've had that Bible since around this time.
You can tell how lost she is. And again, I'm going to have to link this documentary, which I already linked once or twice before, because it perfectly shows you and explains to you why people who fall for Christianity, for example, must be lost. You must be depressed. You must be at your end, even crying. Maybe you lose somebody who's close to you. You cannot understand why. You must be really just completely lost in life, have no purpose or meaning, to then find God or the so-called Jesus. It's a lot better to find my videos, really. A million times better.
I don't know if he's just joking about being Jesus, or if he's serious, or if this is just joke he's doing cynically. It's hard to tell.
The documentary perfectly shows you that the guy who was Christian goes to this natural tribe and realizes that you have to be lost to become Christian. And he quits Christianity, even though he was Christian his whole life. He has a Christian family who all...
Baby Stomper VG is back. How does
worship Jesus, God, and he just can't, because he realizes that natural people don't do it. They cannot do it because they're not depressed and lost. And he quits it. He has to quit it, of course. It's the only natural conclusion you can come to.
I'm not feeling conflicted with myself. I'm having to undo a lot of old beliefs, kind of, because I genuinely think people who believe in Jesus are actually like unintelligent. I was like, you must be just not that smart if you're able to believe in a concept like that. Of course,
but I'm right here. You can literally see me. How can I not be real?
God is real. Of course, the universe is real, but to believe that there is this person who came back to Earth as God, or whatever the story is like.
It's not that I believe that I'm God. I'm just here to save humanity and to inform you to go back to nature. That's it.
Nature's doing this. I'm not doing it. Nature's doing it. I'm only nature's boy.
You're lost. You're enslaved. You eat garbage. You don't follow nature in any way at all anymore, which is the only path to happiness. I'm just here to bring you back to happiness and health. That's the only purpose.
I really don't totally understand it because I haven't read the New Testament, and I know I should, and I know that's part of my problem is I need to read it. But as people know, with a relationship with God, a true one, it can be hard. And
again, Matthew 14:33, thou shalt not read man-made symbols created by man to get a meaning in your life.
I'm realizing that I was going to make a whole separate video on this, maybe I still will, but evil is incredibly inconspicuous. And
what you call evil is nature, but the actual evil ones want you to see it as evil because they want you to go against nature.
And insidious. I've been trying, because I was going to make a video on this, and I was trying to figure out which word.
When you think about it, that's super fucked up. It couldn't even get much worse.
I want to use, but evil is not what is not as direct as you think it is. Evil is in very seemingly harmless things that actually are evil, like lust. I want to make a video on lust, and I'm not really sure I'm going to tell you more because of.
Oh my god, lust, literally, your natural sense is telling you, giving into anything up, see them, but.
Well, that was stupid. But that is exactly what you'd expect from a Sverige video.